Digiwaxx.
All right, so let's all give a round of applause for Charles Hamilton here at today's Welcome to the Digiwaxx music meeting here with our special guest who we will be reintroducing you to. That's what it's all about, the reintroduction of Charles Hamilton. But first of all, let's talk about this the Charles Hamilton that's in front of me today. Is it a new attitude? Is it a new Charles Hamilton that I'm looking at today right now?
It's a self-respected silence. Anybody that knows me knows the trouble that I got myself into. It was a lack of respect for self to, let me go out here and just bug out and say the first thing that comes to my mind instead of structuring it. And it was in the hopes and attempts that I'll be respected for being real. And being so real led to me making what in my head was always valid points. But as it got placed on the surface, borderline insanity. So everybody that listens to the music, and I like when people tell me they connect to my music because it's like I disconnect myself as far as I can. I feel like I'm with everybody in this room times a million when I'm writing, and then I come back to myself and it was like, no, I couldn't have felt everybody that strong. I kind of got arrogant in the middle of it all, so I had to fall back from it after I made what I thought was a great point, and just decided let me be as strong as I possibly can to move forward.
Right. So. And how much self-reflecting did you do during this time? I mean, was there a process where you had to move away from everybody and everything that you were normal to and say, what's going on with me? Was there a point that you had to reach?
I felt like I should have reached that point before I even got into the business. And I had reached a different point. It was at a different part of the axis. And everybody's over there. Like, everybody's looking at the screen and they see, I'm hoping nothing but compliments before the name Charles Hamilton without knowing me personally. But like when I look at that, I'm looking at, like, I'm moving my hand trying to navigate myself through the psychosis that I felt coming before I even got to this point. So nowadays it's like, wow, like, thanks to me up there and everybody that was around. I apologize for being as psycho as I may have come across, but now I'm at a point where I can appreciate and achieve such success without, feeling like I have to be at the bottom of the totem pole to prove a point to everybody who wants to be at the top of the totem pole.
Now, is the Hamiltonization process officially over?
Well, I'm in the multi-Hamiltonization process.
Okay, so
it's a lot of different places at once. Like, right, like the person that you would see every day that would like walk down the block despite having the video up there and everything. The person that you see there is soon to be respected on the mainstream scale as the person that you would see walking down the block every day. So, like, ultimately, like I said in Loser, you know who's gonna stay the same. Like, I'm not gonna be Hollywood, but at the same time, after about 20, 21 years of being immature, it was like, let me wake up and figure out myself in front of people like I've been trying to do my entire life, except do it a little bit wiser. Is, you don't necessarily have to move the entire class and let everybody know that you feel a lunar eclipse coming in the next 3 years. Okay.
And let's just get to the nitty gritty. You're no longer with Interscope, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. What essentially happened, if you can talk about it, now that that process or that situation has passed? Was it on amicable terms? Did they just say, hey, bro, this is not working out? What exactly happened?
The details are never presented to me in extremely clear, but okay. I know that I felt like I was trying to be the first artist / executive, and people were rubbed the wrong way with that, and I probably shouldn't have, had the attitude that I had. I should have been a little more humble. That always stands out for me the most, is my lack of humility during the entire experience. But now now, just being independent, like I'm standing on my own 2 feet, and you know, it's sink or swim for me at this point. Like every step matters.
And of course, people want to know about this album that we actually didn't necessarily get to hear. I don't know if any of the tracks that's going to be coming that we're going to hear today are from it, but can you clarify and what happened, and are we ever going to hear any of that music?
There's a certain sound that everybody has gotten used to coming from me. It's a very underground, compressed, I call it the dirty leather wallet sound. Well, the Charles Hamilton sound, but obviously it feels like a dirty leather wallet. All the songs that are to come are very polished, like every sound is to the best of its ability, whereas I try to go for a vintage sound. This is a very up-to-date, what you hear on radio with the spin of Charles didn't lose his mind, he just figured out how to, you know, walk a certain pace and look cool about it, and try to look cool about it.
Okay. The single you just actually released today, right? Not too long ago, Gauchos, right? So I know that's going to be one of the premiere things. Do you want to give a little intro on that song so people can know kind of where that came from?
I was in Atlanta, and one thing I was noticing about being on the surface and making music was there's a certain bounce, there's a vibration that goes into what people call a hit. And you know, the content, I'm very much representing Harlem. For those that can go a little bit further back in the kaleidoscope, I always used to, you know, write on my sneakers and stuff, or wear the weirdest of sneakers, like ice creams or whatever. But now it's like I've gotten a little bit older, and I'm hearing what is being played on the radio. I just want to add my spin to it so that, you know, whether I continue with the underground sound or I get the polished sound and everybody hears it on the radio, they can just be excited to know Charles is still consistently who he is in his personality, but now he's evolving sound-wise, personality-wise, everything.
All right, so let's get right into it.
Gauchos.
Yo, I'm not too long coming back from Atlanta. I'm gonna make sure all of you snap this. Yo, Harlem is my stylist, Harlem is my boy, Harlem is my glittering, Harlem is my rookie. I am Harlem's politician, sharp and is my little nigga. Get high like all the girls and I treat y'all dudes like little nigga. Drop the G-Tag and pull the bell and I am world. Dance on, can't let go, you see that girl sucks.
I like the Digiwaxx.